Hare Krishna. Please subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon. Never miss any updates.
हरे कृष्ण। नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So in the last session you have heard about chapter 7, which talks about knowledge of the Absolute. So Krishna has emphasized various topics, especially the topic of surrender. Different categories of people, who surrenders and who does not surrender. Impersonalist category, demigod worshippers. So in that various ways, Krishna had presented the concept of surrender in the previous chapter. At the end of the 7th chapter, Krishna had introduced certain technical terms like Brahman, Karma, Adi Yajnaha, Adi Daivaha, Adhyatma, Adi Bhutam, like that 7-8 technical terms Krishna had introduced. And especially one point which is focused upon in this 8th chapter is Prayana Kale. At the time of death, what one remembers. So that's why this chapter is also known as Taraka Brahma Yoga or Akshara Brahma Yoga. How one can attain the Supreme Lord. So Arjuna starts with his questions, inquiries here. With this, all these various topics, kim tad brahma kim adhyatmam kim karma purushottama adi bhutam cha kim proktam adi daivam kim uchyate. These are the specific points what Arjuna is asking. And continuation he also says, adi yajnam katam ko atra dehe asmin madhusudana prayana kale cha katam jnayosi niyatatmavihi. What is kim karma, kim brahma, kim adhyatmam, adi bhutam, adi daivam, adi yajnam? Where does he stay in this specific part of this body? Prayana Kale Chakatam, how to think of the Lord at the last moment of our life. All these specific questions were asked. So Krishna answers all these specific questions in the next 2 verses, and one topic of all these things are elaborated in the rest of the entire chapter. Then Krishna starts defining what is karma, what is Brahman. Aksharam Brahmam Paramam Swabhavo Adhyatmam Uchyate Bhuta Bhava Karo Visargaha Karma Sanjitaha. The Supreme Lord, he starts defining what is Brahman. He says the Jiva, which is of indestructible category, he is a transcendental living entity, is called Brahman. And his eternal nature is called the Self. And actions pertaining to this body of this material modes are called karma. So when we accept this body, we start engaging in various sorts of activities. Either papa or punya, they are all considered as karma. Either good karma or bad karma. Punya karma, papa karma. And Adi Bhutam, Adi Daivam, Adi Yajnam. So like this, these technical terms are there. Adi Bhutam is the physical elements which are manifested. Then Adi Daivam are the demigods, administrative demigods, where the Supreme Lord supports them in this material manifestation. There are administrative people. Then Adi Yajnaha, the prime person who is receiving all our offerings, is the Supreme Lord himself, who is stated as Paramatma in our heart. Where does he stay? He specifically stays in the Paramatma part. So Krishna is specifically acknowledging, I am that Paramatma who is staying within the heart of all living entities. So with these items, most of the definitions are finished. Now the next point is how to think of Krishna at the last moment of life. What if you think of Krishna, and what if you not think of Krishna? Krishna says, Antakale cha mam yeva smaran muktah kalevaram yah prayati sa madbhavam yati nasti atra samshayaha. Antakale cha mam yeva, antakale, antima samaye, mam, if you think of me, smaran, smarana means to remember the Lord, muktva kalevaram, when we are quitting this body. So, yah prayati sa madbhavam, one achieves my nature. Yati nasti atra shamsha. Of this there is no doubt, Krishna is assuring you. If you think of me, you will come back to me. Of this there is no doubt. Okay, then not everybody is able to think of me, then what is their status? Then Krishna is saying a general rule. yam yam vapi smaram bhavam. Whatever you think. Tyajati ante kalevaram. When you are kalevaram, when it is sharira, when you are going to tyajate, when you are going to give up, at the last moment of our life, when you are about to quit this body, whatever you think, tam tam eva iti kaunteva, that understanding, that consciousness we achieve in the next life, sada tad bhava bhavita. That consciousness, whatever we have at the last moment of our life, that we achieve in our next life. Like if the last moment, if I think of Krishna, I'll go back to Krishna. If I think of some material elements like cat, dog, I may become a cat or dog. According to my karma, it will be born as a cat in a rich man's house or in a roadside house. So, whatever we think in the last moment, that makes our next decision. So, how do I know what I will be able to think in the last moment? Krishna is saying that's why endeavor, practice. You have to do whole life practice. If you have to think of me in the last moment, from day one, you have to start practice. This is something like an exam. From the starting of the year, we have to study. Not just one day before the exam, we sit there and we somehow or other pass. No, that is not always recommended. Krishna is saying, Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara. In all times and in all circumstances, you should think of me. Even during yuddhecha, even during fighting also, you should think of me. Mai arpita mano buddhihi, your mind and intelligence should be dedicated to me, you should offer them to me. Mam ye vashyase sasamshayaha, you can attain me without doubt. If you do in this process, mind and intelligence fully absorbed on Krishna, then there is every opportunity in all times and all circumstances. If you think of Krishna, even during war times perspectives also, you can achieve me, Krishna is assuring. So people may ask, is it practical in all times and all circumstances? Can I think of Krishna? So Krishna is assuring, yes, it is possible. Abhyasa yoga yuktena. By practice, one can achieve this perfection. Practice makes man perfect. By practice, anybody can achieve this perfection. Paramam Purusham Divyam Yati Partha Anuchintayan. If you can chintana, anuchintana, if you are always able to think of the Supreme Lord, one can achieve, one can go back home to the Supreme Lord's place, but simply by constant remembering of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by practice. You are saying practice, Krishna is recommending practice. How to remember Krishna? What is the practical aspect Krishna is suggesting here? The next verse Krishna says, Kavim Puranam, how to remember him in this world. Kavim Puranam, Anushashitaram, Anoraniyamsham, Anusmaredyaha, Sarvasya Dataram, Achintya Rupam, Aditya Varnam, Tamasah Parastar. In 10 different ways, Krishna is recommending how we can remember him in this world. Kavim, he is the most learned person. Puranam, he is the oldest. Anushashitaram, as the supreme controller. Anor Aniyamsham, he is smaller than the smallest. Anusmaret, one should always think of him. Sarvasya Dataram, maintainer of everything. Achintya Rupam, inconceivable form. Aditya Varnam, illuminated like the sun. Aditya means the sun. Aditya Varnam, he is like that glowing effulgence like the sun. Aditya Varnam. Tamasah Parastat, he is beyond the darkness, he is transcendental personality. In that way, 10 qualities have been enumerated here, how one can think or meditate upon the Lord. So in this process, if you start meditating in this way, when we achieve perfection, then what happens? Prayana kale manasa chelena. Prayana kale, at the time of quitting this body, manasa chelena, this mind which is flickering, if it is able to fix this mind on the 10 categories of absorption, remembering, Bhaktya yukto yoga balena cheva. By the process of this yoga, bhaktya, in the engaging of devotion service, balena, by the support of this bhakti devotion service, then one is able to remember the Lord. Bruvor madhye pranam avesha samyak, satam param purusham upayati divyam. So in that way, one can raise this life air. The Shat chakra, they say. Within this body, there are 6 chakras. So we have to raise this life air from Nabi to heart, to Kanta, to between the eyebrows, from there between the eyebrows to Brahma Kapala. So if we can rise this life air and think of the Supreme Lord, then one can go back to the Supreme world, spiritual world. Krishna starts explaining about this process in detail, technically. What if you think of Krishna and what if you think of any other subject? Then Krishna is saying, people learned in the Vedas, they chant Omkara. And Omkara is considered actually, if you think Omkara is just a formless entity, then we will go back to the transcendental world where it is only a Brahman effulgence. We will enter into that Brahman effulgence. But if you get that Omkara to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead, it is his specific representation, then we will enter into Vaikunta. So for this process, one has to practice celibacy. Brahmacharya is very important. So what is that practical process Krishna is saying? Sarva dvarani samyamya. In this body there are many senses. Every sense has to be regulated, it has to be guided, it has to be protected. Then manohrudi nirujyata. Mind has to be fixed. Heart, it has to be fixed upon the heart in that way. So by fixing the mind on the heart and the life air at the top of the head, one establishes himself in yoga. This Ashtanga yoga process, what we have heard in 6th chapter, where one raises the life air up to the point from on the top of the head, this is called Brahma Kapala. So when they fix this point there and they think of that personality, then after being situated in this yoga practice, and when one remembers Om while chanting this Om mantra, if one thinks of the Supreme Lord while quitting his body, he will reach the spiritual planets. So this Om has two aspects. It is a personal future also, it is an impersonal future also. If you think Om as an impersonal future, we will just end up in Brahman effulgence. But if you think Om as personal future, we end up in going to the spiritual world Vaikuntha. So for this commitment, this is yoga process. In this yoga process, then Krishna gives a contrast by explaining about bhakti process. He says, Ananya chetata satatam yomam smarati nityasaha tasyaham sulabah partha nitya yuktasya yoginaha. For those who are engaged in this bhakti process, Ananya means undeviated, without deviation. Satatam means always. One who is able to always think of Krishna. Yo smarati, yomam smarati nityasaha. Not just conditionally. Once in a while I think of Krishna, or once in a while when I see them I will think of Krishna. No. If you are able to always think of Krishna, yomam smarati nityasaha. Always, in all times and all circumstances, if one is able to think of Krishna, yomam smarati nityasaha, tasya aham sulabaha. For him I am very easily achieved. Sulabaha partho Arjuna, I am very easily be achieved. For whom? Nitya yuktasya yogina. For that yogi who is always engaged in my service, I am easily to be attained. Then Krishna gives a differentiation between what is material world and what is spiritual world. The contrast of material world is, he says, what is the Lakshana? Why Krishna is asking us to go back to him? Because he is saying this world is dukkhalayam ashashvatam. Mamupetya punarjanma. In this world it is always punarjanma, full of cycle of birth and death. Always continuous, this chakra of cycle of birth and death goes on. Dukkha alayam, it is place of misery. And if people may say, Krishna is saying tolerate, earlier in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna said, Tam Stitik Shashva Bharata, tolerate, okay, I will tolerate. Krishna is saying Ashashvatam, and it is temporary, it is not permanent here. So that is the nature. He is saying material world is temporary and full of misery. So don't get into this process of staying in this material world. But Napnavanti Mahatmanaha Samsiddhim Paramam Gataha. But those who are always thinking of me, they never come back to this world. Once they quit this body, they will go back to the spiritual world and they will never again come back to this world. Krishna is assuring it. Because anybody who takes birth in this world, Abrahma Bhavana Lokal, it is from Brahma's planet to Patala planet. We are continuously roaming in this world. Abrahma Bhavana Lokal, Punaravartino Arjuna, one has to take birth again and again in this world, from Brahma's planet to Patala planet, from different planetary systems, different living entities. We have to keep roaming around in this 84 lakh species, Krishna is saying. But Mamupetito Kaunteya Punarjanmana Vidyate, one who achieves me will not take once again rebirth in this world. That assurance Krishna is providing us. So if you take even Brahma's life, he says Sahasra Yuga Paryantam, he is saying Sahasra Yuga, one Mahayuga is 43 lakh 20,000 years. Sahasra means into 1000 is 12 hours time of Brahma. So even they say again, a similar time is there for Ratrim. Ratrim Yuga Sahasrantam. So Brahma's one day is 24 hours is 2 into 1000 into 43 lakh 20,000 years. That is one day of Brahma in earthly calculation. Even that Brahma is just like a momentary life in front of Lord Krishna. So as Brahma's day manifests and Brahma's night comes, different living entities take birth and different living entities are finished at the time of his sleeping. Like that different cycle goes on in this world. So we all, when Brahma is awakened, we all become activated. When Brahma goes to sleep, we all go to sleep. There will be entire inundation. So there will be no more activity. We all enter into the body of Vishnu. Again, when Brahma is woke up, everybody comes out and different, wherever we have stopped in the last life, we'll start continue from the point there. According to our desires, we achieve next bodies. So Krishna is saying the contrast between spiritual world. He is saying parastasmat bhavoyam vyakto avyakta sanatanaha yasya sarveshu bhuteshu nasyat shuna vinashyati. In this material world, there is a constant creation and destruction going on. But in the spiritual world, which is an eternal world, there is no destruction at all there. It is in a different dimension, it is in a different quality. And that world where one goes there, one never comes back to this world. That is the specialty of that world. Yam prapyana nivartante tad dhama paramamama. One who reaches there will never again come to this world. Krishna is assuring that. So how can one achieve that world is, Krishna is confirming here, Purusha sah parah partha bhaktya labhyastu ananyaya. When we have this ananya bhakti only, then we can achieve that Supreme Lord, not by any other endeavor. The Supreme Lord, who is greater than all, is attained by unalloyed devotion. Yashya antastani bhutani antaha, he is there within the heart of all living entities. And he is all pervading, ena sarvam idam tadam. And he is spread everywhere. It is his energy, it is he spread everywhere. And he is spread within the living entity's heart also. Everywhere he is there in the andantarastha paramanu chayantarastham. He is there in the anda, as there he is there in the paramanu also. As Vishnu, he is spread over this universal form, he is spread over this entire universe. And as Paramatma, he is there in the even in the atom. So in that way, Lord is spread everywhere. So Krishna is suggesting here, next, there are two different paths by which one can pass away from this world. One is in the Uttarayana path and the other is in the Dakshinayana path. In Uttarayana path, there are certain other considerations. That's why when somebody dies, we see the muhurta, is it a good muhurta or bad muhurta. And they do some shantis if possible, if something can be done. See, death is not in our hand. How do we know what moment we will die? So Krishna is saying that there are these aspects, certain considerations. He says, those who know the Supreme Brahman, when they pass in this Uttarayana process, all these things, it should be a Uttarayana, it should be in the light, it shouldn't be in the auspicious moment, it shouldn't be in the fortnight of the moon, 6 months when the sun travels in the north. All these things, A plus B plus C plus D. All A should be there, B should be there, C should be there, D should be there. When all these things are there, once when he quits this body, he will never come back. So for example, we have this one concept of Bhishma passing away from this world. In the battle of Kurukshetra, when this war was happening, it is somewhere around December time. November end or December first week was the battle happening. So on the 10th day of the battle, 18 days the war was fought, and on the 10th day Bhishma was fallen on the Sharaf Panjara, on the bed of arrows. So from then he will be waiting till Uttarayana. It's almost 45 days up to Sankranti. He was waiting for one good muhurta. That is physical thing. But Krishna wanted some more activity to happen through Bhishma Deva. After the war, all the Pandavas will approach Bhishma Deva, and they had put forward various questions, especially Yudhishthira will put forward various questions, and he will learn various topics from Bhishma Deva. In the first canto, 9th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, you have elaborate discussions between the discussion subject between Yudhishthira and Bhishma. What and all topics did they discuss? And finally, Krishna was present in front of Bhishma when Bhishma wanted to quit his body. So at that particular point, Bhishma reveals his understanding. He starts offering prayers to Krishna that you are so merciful. People could not understand you as a Supreme Lord. You are roaming one among us. So today, you are there in front of me, giving me this opportunity. Let me focus my mind upon you. And he offers various prayers, glorifying Lord Krishna, glorifying devotees. He offers prayers to Arjuna. He offers prayers to gopis. Like that, various circumstances. He remembers Krishna's various pastimes, various commitments, what Krishna had done. By all this process, at the end, by seeing Krishna, he quits his body, and it is said he went back to that eternal abode. So that is the opportunity. So we have to go by the standard process, by how our acharyas have set us defined, how one should lead one's life in this world. And he says in the next process, then one more process is there. One passes in either A or B or C or D. If any one is present, they will come back. In the next verse he says, the mystic yogi who passes away from this world during the smoke, during the night, the moonless fortnight, or the 6 months when the sun passes through the Dakshinayana, he goes to the moon planet and again comes back. The first process is A plus B plus C plus D, all four should be there. In the second process, either A or B or C or D. If any one thing is there, one comes back. So then what is the situation for all of us? For devotees, okay, we are all trying to understand Bhagavad Gita, we are trying to practice this Bhakti Yoga as suggested by Srila Prabhupada. Then what is our status? So for devotees, who knows these two paths are never bewildered. They are always fixed in devotion, because for them Krishna has given assurance, you will come back to me. Mam upetya punarjanma dukkhalema shashvatam. Once you come back to me, you will never come down to this material world. If you think of fixed in devotion, Krishna is assuring this for devotees, there is no problem at all. Practically, he is giving us this opportunity that once you think of Krishna, then no problem. Krishna will, even sometimes there is one suggestion where in one Varaha Purana where says, if Krishna, okay, I don't know whether I will be able to think of Krishna or not. Whole life I have done my endeavor. In the last moment if I may not be able to think of Krishna, what is my status? So Krishna says, if you have thought of me whole life, if you cannot think of me at the last moment, I will think of you and I will bring you back to my world. This is Krishna's assurance in Varaha Purana. If Krishna is giving so much confidence, what else do we require? Krishna is saying, I will come on Garuda and pick you up from this world and take you. That quotation will be there. So many people may think that devotees are simply engaged in devotion, they cannot do anything. There are outside people, they are enjoying, they are engaging in tapasya, dana, charity and so many things they are doing. So they are enjoying so many facilities. What happens to the status of devotee? In the next verse, Krishna finally says, Vedeshu yajneshu tapassu chaiva daneshu yatpanya phalam pratishtam atyeti tatsarvam idam viditva yogi paramsthanam apyati chadyam. By studying all the Vedas, Vedeshu, Yajneshu, by engaging in all categories of sacrifices, Tapashu, by engaging in austerities and penances, Daneshu, by engaging in charitable acts, Yat Punya Phalam Pratishtam, whatever Punya one earns in this process, Atyeti Tatsarvam Idam Viditva, by engaging in devotional service, one can achieve the result of all the other process. He did not bother at all. Okay, I have not done all this, I have not done this, so maybe I may not be able to have this, I may not be able to have this. No problem. You just engage in bhakti, rest everything what is required for you is automatically bestowed upon us by Krishna, by this process of bhakti. We should not feel deprived. Krishna is saying, no problem, everything I will give upon to you. So in this way, yogi paramsthanam upyati sadhyam, and at last we will go back home, back to Godhead also. And he reaches the supreme abode Vaikuntha. So yogis, what do? They engage in this process. Whole life they do commitment on meditation on the Paramatma, and the last moment of their life they can decide. In yogis are also two categories are there, those who would like to achieve Paramatma and those who would like to stay back in this world to exhibit their capacities of yoga siddhis. So those who would like to stay back in this world, they will take birth in this Siddha family or somewhere in the higher planets again after their karma is finished. Karma is like an account. You have a balance, bank balance. Negative balance or positive balance. We have punya means it is positive balance, negative means it is overdraft or something, we have overused. Like you have a checkbook and if there is no money, you have 500 rupees and you are writing a checkbook for 1000, check for 1000. Will it check pass? No. You have 500 rupees only in the account. So again we have to earn that karma. Like sometimes there is one example in Mahabharata where Dhritarashtra will ask Krishna at the last moment after the war, so why is this suffering for me? In front of me my 100 sons have died. Why is this suffering is enforced upon me? What is the reason? And Krishna explains, in your previous life, some 50 lifetimes before, you were a hunter. So one day you went to hunt birds in the forest. There was a big nest with around 100 chicks there, small chicks. So you are trying to capture the elder birds, the parent birds, and because you could not catch them, you have massacred these 100 small chicks in frustration in front of that parent birds. The pain that parent birds have gone through of 100 children being killed in front of their eyes. So that karma you are suffering right now. Then Dhritarashtra asks, why for 50 lifetimes I have to wait for this? Then Krishna says, to have one son itself you have to do so much punya. For last 50 lifetimes you have been accumulating that punya so that at one time you will be able to have 100 sons. But your mentality is crooked mentality, that's why you have lost all your 100 sons. That suffering, that karma comes back to you. In this world, this is this karma. We will earn something and we will lose something. Nothing stays with us permanent. So that the only thing that stays with us is that bhakti and devotion to the Supreme Lord, which is going to help us and support us to take us out of this world and take us to the spiritual world. So entire Bhagavad Gita is only focusing on this specific subject, how one should have this dedication upon the Supreme Lord and how should one practice his principles in the association of devotees, in the guidance of the spiritual master, in commitment, in determination. So if we do all these things, then we are assured that we will go back to Krishna. That is what this chapter is confirming to us. So more technical details about this Krishna conscious perspective, we will be able to understand in the further chapters. So, thank you very much. Hare Krishna.